access to. It's not that if you're in a male body, you don't have access to love and devotion, or if you're in a female body that you don't have access to meditation, because all of us have this opposite polarity also within us. Now, the path of Tantra can be traveled by weaving together these opposite polarities within your own body and within your own chakra system, and also weaving that together with an outer man or outer woman in relationship. And this means the path of Tantra can be followed alone or in partnership. If you're traveling alone, you are working together with your inner male, inner female, and that is reflected in the chakra system as well. And it's also reflected in our sexuality, how we function as male, how we function as female. If you think about two magnets, one pole of the magnet is positive, one is receptive. And if you are putting these magnetic poles together, if there's a receptive pole and an outgoing pole, and then you start bringing together, they are magnetically attracted. They want to come together. So this is the case of male and female, that opposites attract each other. Now, if you take these same magnets and you turn it around so that there's two positive poles facing each other, they can't meet. You can push, but they will not meet. They repel each other because both are having an outgoing energy. Likewise, if you put two receptive polarities together, they will meet, but there will be no energy there. There's not this magnetic attraction. So this is happening in life between male and female, whether that's inside of us or with a partner. And this is very important when you want to understand male and female sexuality, which I'm going to speak on for a few minutes. And then we will go into the more esoteric aspect as well. In terms of sexuality, the male and the female brain are wired differently, as are the genitals also wired differently. The male brain has one quality which would like deep and intimate love to go into relationship, a committed relationship. There's another part of the male brain that is looking for opportunist sexuality, that's looking for woman's body parts. So the desire to see the curve of the hip or the long hair, or maybe the shoulder, the shape of the bum, etc. And this is actually fueling testosterone to be boosted. And it's giving this kind of impulse of the continuation of the species by spreading his seed. So there's that kind of inbuilt programming in the male brain. Also, the male sexuality has very strong characteristics that come from testosterone, testosterone being the principal male hormone. Within that hormone are the qualities of territorialness and strong libido, goal-orientedness, competition, muscular strength. So all of these are inherent in testosterone. And this also forms the psyche as well as the body of the masculine. So his psyche is very influenced by that. Now, when we are programmed by nature for something, we can't fight against it. That does not work. So if a man says to himself, oh, I don't want to be influenced by testosterone, this will not work. This is actually stupid, because it's like you start fighting with your own arm or your own leg and saying, oh, I don't like the way my arm is working, so I'm going to fight against it. No, that doesn't work. All we can do is really understand the functioning and then apply our intelligence to working with it in very sensitive or intelligent ways. Now, the way that influences the sexuality is also very interesting. The male sexuality is very deeply influenced by his sense of vision. And as I explained before, in the brain, there is a kind of compartment that wishes to see women's body parts on a regular basis, thus boosting the testosterone functioning. So this quality is then influencing the sexuality, that the man will go into sexual excitement by seeing woman. And this is directly linked, the visual and the sexual impulse. And then the other thing is that he can get erection very quickly. He can even come to the point of orgasm and ejaculation very quickly. And but he may not find deepest satisfaction that way, because there is another part of the brain that also wants deep intimacy and to discover the fulfillment that can come through different levels of connectivity. After the man ejaculates, he needs to rest for at least 20 minutes to recharge, because ejaculation is like a small death for him. Many different hormones and different kind of nutrients are being released through the sperm. So his body is getting depleted in that process, and he needs to rest and recharge. Now I want to explain how the woman's brain and sexual functioning works, so that you can understand the difference. The woman's brain is wired in such a way that her intuition is very strong. So as the male center in the brain for muscular strength and strong libido and everything is growing bigger in the embryo, at the same time, that center is shrinking in the female embryo, and the center of intuition is growing stronger. Another thing is, she does not have two boxes, one for intimacy and one for opportunist sex. She has only one box, which is sex and heart connected as one. So her sexuality and the feelings of intimacy, bonding, nurturing, love, they go together. There is no separation between them. So even though some women try to separate them in our day and age, where you have Tinder and you have many ways of having this opportunist sex, for the female, even though she tries, it doesn't really work. And on top of it, the female sexuality is wired in such a way that her deeper body and biology wants her to get attached to the masculine. And this happens in different ways. So I explained one of the ways is, if the man ejaculates inside the woman, there is literally a drug in the man's sperm that is addictive to the woman. And she's absorbing that inside of her yoni and having a literal addiction. And that addiction will last for 1 month. Now, her body also changes to accommodate the man. So if a man makes love to a woman at least 3 times, her yoni will literally change shape to accommodate that particular lingam. And as that is happening, her psychology will also change to accommodate that particular man. She is receiving him in her body. And this is absolutely crucial to understand, that this is a very powerful thing that happens when a woman receives the man inside of her body, that her whole physicality and her psychology shifts and changes to accommodate him. And she bonds with him. This is all programmed by nature and by biology. And there's nothing we can do about that. However, this is where Tantra comes in. We can bring understanding to it, and we can also bring an artistry to it to refine it. And I'll go more into that in just a few moments. Now, when the woman is approaching the man, or the man is approaching the woman, and they are attracted to each other, what happens for the feminine is very different to the masculine. It's been proven through different scientific studies that the female needs approximately 20 to 40 minutes of erotic play before penetration. Otherwise, it's impossible for her to be really ready to receive her man. She's not warmed up enough. And sometimes men get very impatient with that. They think, oh, there's something wrong with my woman. Why does she need so much time? Does it mean she's not attracted to me? No, it's because in the female clitoral network, there are approximately 5,000 to 8,000 nerve endings devoted only to pleasure. These nerve endings are connected to nerves all over the entire body. Because of this, for the woman to go into full arousal, the entire body needs to be activated, and then the clitoral network will come into its full activation. If you go directly to the yoni and you think you're going to turn on the woman, you're mistaken. It's much better to start from the external part of the body and begin through connectivity. The men's sexuality being connected to the eyes is not the same for the woman's sexuality. She's more connected with feeling, with bonding, with love, with romance. This is what will start switching on all those nerves all over the body, which are linked in to the clitoris and the clitoral network. A large part of the clitoral network is inside the body. We don't see it. It is equal in size to the male lingam. However, we don't see it, but all of this erectile tissue needs to come into erection in the woman's body before she's ready to receive her man. Because the clitoral network, which is a very sensitized part for pleasure for the woman, is not inside the vagina. If it was inside the vagina, she would never be able to give birth. It would be too sensitive. It would be agonizing. Therefore, nature has placed that outside of the vagina. So vagina only becomes sensitive if the woman's clitoral network is in erection, and therefore through the walls of the yoni, she will start feeling the pleasure that is contained in that erectile tissue of the clitoral network. I hope everybody's following so far. So there's a lot on this subject, which is very, very interesting. Now, when the woman finally is ready for penetration, and if she has one orgasm, she remains on the orgasmic plateau for another 20 minutes, ready for more orgasms. So remember the discrepancy. The man has one orgasm ejaculation, which means he has to rest. She has one orgasm, she's ready for more orgasm. This discrepancy has created so much confusion in couples down the ages. It's only in Tantra that the puzzle has been resolved through Tantra practice, because we see that man and woman are made differently, oppositely, actually. And so we apply intelligence to that. Start practicing lovemaking as an art form, in the same way that the musician tunes the instrument before he starts playing the raga. You need to tune the instrument of the woman's body before you start playing the music of sexuality with her. So this means that sex is something that has to be learned if you want to perfect it as an art form. And yet it is really easy in truth. So I'm going to describe how it is easy. It's simply that you start from opposite ways with the male or with the female. I call this spiral to heaven. And this is explained and demonstrated and taught in great detail in my course, Master Lover, which is also an online course. And so if you imagine a spiral, and if you imagine the center of the spiral is the sex center. For the woman, you start from the external part of the spiral. That means external part of the body. And slowly, slowly, you move towards the sex center. For the man, you do it exactly the opposite. You start from the center of the spiral, from the sex center, and then slowly, slowly, you move towards the external part of the body. Can you understand the difference? I hope. Let's see some thumbs up if you can understand what I'm indicating here. So in other words, you're honoring the female as she is, and you're honoring the male as he is. So for illuminating the masculine, I would really recommend that you start by honoring and worshiping his lingam. And then you spread that energy all over his body. With the woman, you start with romance, with eye gazing, with soft candlelight, with soft caressing on the outer non-erogenous zones. And slowly, slowly, you move towards the sex center. And just to wrap up this section of my presentation, I'm going to quote from a Taoist scripture, ancient Taoist Tantra. They say that the man should arouse the woman in all the ways he has been trained through learning about sexuality as an art form. And only if she begs him with tears in her eyes is he allowed to penetrate her. So this is just giving you a little indication. The ancients were more wise about how they approached lovemaking, actually. There's many different instances of that. It's in the Tantra scriptures from Taoist, but also from ancient Indian Tantra scriptures. Kama Sutra also talks about this. So there are, and as well, there's a Middle Eastern text called Perfumed Garden where they talk about it. So our ancient ancestors knew much more than we know today about sexuality as an art form. Now, there's another aspect of the difference between Shiva and Shakti and how to bridge them, which is mirrored in our chakra system. If we think about the chakra system, we have first chakra represented by the sex center, second chakra, lower belly, third chakra, solar plexus, fourth chakra, heart, fifth chakra, throat, sixth chakra, third eye center, seventh chakra is crown of the head and above the crown. So each of these chakras carries a very special life lesson. And all human beings are actually on a chakra journey, moving from sex to superconsciousness. And I'm sure you all must have heard of Osho's book called Sex to Superconsciousness. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it. He's speaking about this journey that every human being is taking, actually, even if we're not aware of it. Now, this chakra system, according to Osho, has positive and receptive polarity. The male and female fit together like
And can you please mute yourself, or whose microphone is unmuted?
I kind of controlling 11 so let's see what happens in a year when I stop flying.
Can you please mute yourself, whichever is on unmute?
Talk about it.
Okay, as we see that Sarita's screen is again frozen, we can just come back to our breath. Just breathe. And she should be back soon with this beautiful explanation on chakra journey, on sex to superconsciousness. to maybe just bringing your awareness on the sex center and on the seventh chakra.
Okay, we're back. Bravo.
Great.
So this phenomena of the soulmate is when all the seven chakras are aligned in orgasmic ecstasy. The quality of orgasm in the first chakra will be different from the quality of orgasmic union in the second chakra, and so on through the entire chakra system. Now, just as the first chakra is a positive polarity in the masculine, which is obvious, we see that, and receptive in the feminine, the second chakra is an outgoing or positive polarity in the feminine, receptive in the masculine. Third chakra, outward going polarity in the masculine, receptive in the feminine. Fourth chakra, outward going polarity in the feminine, receptive in the masculine. Fifth chakra, outward going polarity in the masculine, receptive in the feminine. Sixth chakra, positive polarity in the feminine, receptive in the masculine. Seventh chakra, beyond duality. So this is where Shiva and Shakti become one. Now you can think of it as the masculine is giving a gift or a transmission through his first chakra. Woman is receiving. Woman is giving a gift, a transmission through the second, and man is receiving. You understand? It goes like this. So if we want to have maximum fulfillment in our meeting of Shiva and Shakti, we need to respect the positive and receptive polarities of the chakra system. We need to discover what are those life lessons. How can we learn that? How can we offer our positive polarity or our gift to the opposite gender? And then the opposite gender is learning, how can I receive this gift? So I just say very briefly what those gifts are. In the first chakra, the man is giving the gift of abundant libido and also groundedness, security. The woman is very much longing for security when she is opening to a man. So he is giving that through the first chakra. Through the second chakra, the woman is offering the gift of emotional fluidity and also the portals of birth and death. This is held in the second chakra. Third chakra, the man is giving a gift of becoming vast enough to contain contradictions in life. This is a very powerful transmission. The fourth chakra, woman is giving the gift of love, compassion, empathy, devotion. Fifth chakra, man is giving the gift of learning how to become a co-creator with the divine, allowing the divine to create through us. Sixth chakra, woman is giving the gift of clairvoyance, intuition. Seventh chakra, this is where Shiva and Shakti meet and merge as one in universal consciousness. So these pairs of chakras are fitting together. If you can discover empowerment in your own positive polarities, then when you meet the opposite gender in union, you will have two empowered beings meeting, coming together, and automatically the receptive polarities will open like a flower to receive the nectar of that opposite gender. And so I want to propose doing a little exercise together where you can taste your own positive polarities and find out what happens when that will meet with the opposite gender. For that to happen, we're going to use imagination linking into intuition, because imagination is the door into intuition. So I'm going to take you on a little guided journey. And I know that there are some people who are here as couples. This can be done as an exercise in the couple. But today, I'm going to propose it as a singles exercise. So each person will be doing it with themselves. And another time, if you can do it in your couple, you can guide each other. And that is very special, wonderful experience. But for today, we'll do it as each individual would do it for themselves. I hope this is understandable. Now, before I go into offering you that guided journey, that guided meditation, we can just take a couple of questions just to clear the air in case anybody's confused about anything I said and you would like clarification. Please take a few moments. We'll just have 5 minutes of questions, then we will go into the exercise that I'm proposing. So maybe
yeah, I
Shrishti,
can read it. Yes. So we have the first question from Aaron. What we can do when the woman is in love and addicted to the man after ejaculation, but the man say that it was just sex and he don't want to live together. How to deal with this?
Did everybody hear the question? Is it okay? Yeah, because I think this is a really valuable question. In general, the man's brain is wired in such a way that within approximately 3 seconds, he's deciding whether this woman is for opportunist sex or for a deep relationship. It doesn't take more than 3 seconds. And this 3-second decision comes also according to how the woman is feeling or emitting her energy. It's very, very interesting, and it can also be a little bit sad because the woman thinks, I want to attract a man, so let me look very, very sexy so he will be attracted to me. But if you cross a certain line where
So time to come back to our breath. So just taking few deep breaths while we await for Sarita to tune back with us and to address this question, interesting question. And while I see there are more questions coming in, so it's also a good reminder when we are too much hooked onto the screen, whether on TV, watching movie or phone screen, just to come back and to connect to our breath. Connecting to breath is like connecting to our own self. So
here I am.
wonderful. Over to you. We have like hide and seek game, Sarita,
Yes,
playing.
hide and seek. This is very sexy. So, this whole thing is about woman loving and respecting herself. And how does she want to play the game? And how does the man also want to play the game? So it's a very, how would we say, nature's way of playing. It's in the East, we call it lila, God's play. So there's a whole seduction game that goes on. And as this is happening, both are just trying to figure out without the mind, it's all happening on the biological level. Is this going to be a temporary meeting or is it going to go deeper? And scientists have actually studied that in the first kiss that a couple have, the chemistry of the body is already deciding how long this relationship will last. Will it be temporary? Will it be long lasting? How many children will be born? It's all been determined by the biology and by the chemistry. So the chemistry is very intelligent and it knows. The thing to do is to tune into ourselves and become more and more sensitive to our own signaling that's happening in our biology, to really sense into it, feel it. There's a different quality, and both men and women can start learning how to sense that. Because sometimes women also want just to, like nature is saying, okay, now is the moment to get pregnant, like when she's ovulating. So at that time, all this whole artistry that I was talking about goes out the window, because she might feel like, oh, now I just want to have sex, because her body is asking for that, is asking to get pregnant. And it's very interesting how powerful chemistry is. Like, for example, some scientists did a study. They had a picture of 5 different women, and they were asking men to say which woman attracted them more. Each of the women was tremendously beautiful, but only one of those women was ovulating. The men didn't know which one it was. All the men chose the ovulating woman, even though that was only in a photograph. So how did his chemistry pick up on that? This is a mystery. And it's telling us how powerful biology actually is. And we shouldn't underestimate that power. We should become more sensitive so that we can start tuning in and feeling what is happening biologically, and be very clear and very honest also. So I think if a man is more sensitive to himself and he feels this is an opportunist sex impulse that's coming to me, he can say it, and she can respond in the way that is true for her. Like sometimes maybe she says, great, that's exactly what I want. However, chances are if the man does ejaculate inside of her with no protection, she will get addicted and she might get confused through that. So if you know, oh, this is an opportunist sexual encounter, nothing wrong with it. Just use a condom, so then that addiction won't happen. This is what I would recommend. So I'm always in favor of tuning in, feeling the biology, being very honest, and also taking care of yourself in the best possible way. Yeah. Okay. I think now we should go into the exercise. Is it okay? Is everybody ready for that? We'll have more time for questions afterwards.
Yes, yes. But just in continuation of the same question, the same person asked a little explanation to the question, how can a woman help herself when a man changes his mind? Means in the continuation of the same question.
What does that mean, changes his mind?
Like how a woman can help herself if the man changes his mind. So
sorry, I don't understand the question, because usually, as I said, this decision comes in the first 3 seconds of
yes.
meeting.
Yes, so the man has changed his mind that, okay, he doesn't want to be with this woman. Now what the woman can do for herself to get over it? That's what.
To get over it? Okay,
Yeah.
that's another question. That would be the subject of another online session,
Okay.
because that's a very deep subject. And I would have to tell you some method how you can get unhooked from that. Because it's a drug, it is our own internal biological drug, but it is a drug. So how do we come off of a drug? We have withdrawal symptoms. It's painful, but there are methods that you can use to come off of it. And so I can just shortly, I recommend a book which you can read, which has one of the best methods possible for this. The name of the book is Freedom Is, by a woman named Brandon Bays. If you read this book, in the book, there's a fantastic method which will help you to come out of psychological, emotional pain, which is there due to different reasons, but one of them could be this kind of attachment that comes, and then you want to come over that attachment.
Also the yoni cleansing and the yoni detox practices can be helpful, right?
Yes, that can also
Yeah.
be helpful.
Yeah.
Also, the tachyon products, tachyonized yoni egg or ultraspheres you can wear, and then that's going to tune you back to source, and it will help you to release whatever is not serving you as well. And it also increases pleasure. Yeah.
Wonderful. Just to cross check, the name of the author is Brandon, Brandon,
Bradon, Bays, Bays.
Bradon, Bay.
Brandon. No. Bradon, Brandon. Bays, Bays.
Freedom is, right?
Freedom is
Okay.
amazing book.
Okay.
Okay, so now we go into our exercise. And to start with, you can just close your eyes for a moment. Give yourself permission to use your creative imagination, which of course has a little bit playful quality to it. It allows you the freedom to enjoy visualizing, sensing, feeling in ways maybe you normally wouldn't do. And letting that imagination link with your intuition, your deeper intuitive knowing, which is there within every person. And once you've given yourself permission for that, you can bow down to yourself in love and respect. And now, men, you can place your hands on your genitals. This is first chakra. So one hand at the perineum, one hand over the lingam. Women, you can place your hands on your lower belly. And if a woman, you can place one hand at the back of your lower belly, one hand on the front. So it's creating a kind of sandwich effect. And now breathe into the hand for the men, which is at the perineum 3 times. Women, breathe into the hand at the back 3 times. Just count your breath. And now, women, breathing into your hand in the front of the belly 3 times. Men, breathing into the hand which is on the lingam 3 times. And now breathe into the space in between the 2 hands 3 times. And now, using your creative imagination, imagine a quality or a scene from nature in this area. And really allow yourself to sense that very profoundly. What is that quality or scene from nature in this area? And then once you have that in your awareness, you can gently release the hand from the back. For women, gently release the hand from the perineum for men, and then float your hand away from the front of the belly for women, from the lingam for men. And then you're going to move to your next positive polarity of the chakra system. So men, you will be holding one hand on the back of the solar plexus and one hand on the front of the solar plexus. Women, you will be placing one hand in between your breasts, one hand on the back behind the heart chakra. And now breathe into the hand in the back 3 times. And now breathing into the space in between the 2 hands 3 times. And sensing or imagining a scene or quality from nature in this area, in this chakra. What is that quality of nature? Use your creative imagination, sensing this, maybe visualizing. And as this is in your awareness, you can gently release the hand from the back and then float the hand away from the front. And then we're going to shift our awareness to the next positive polarity. So men, you can put one hand on the back of the neck, the other hand on your throat. Women, one hand on your third eye center, and then at the back of the head opposite the third eye center. And begin breathing 3 times into the hand in the back. And 3 times into the hand in the front. And 3 times in And as you are aware of that quality or seeing from nature, you can then release your hand from the back, release your hand from the front. And now I'm going to ask you to use your creative imagination to sense these three qualities or scenes of nature meeting and merging with each other. As they meet and merge, something new is created. Discovering what is that? And let yourself be surprised. And it's good to be aware that this quality that happens when these three qualities or scenes of nature meet and merge, and there's something new created. This new that is being created is you in your empowered masculine or your empowered feminine. So you take that empowered state, whatever it is, and you bring it from the crown down through your entire body so that your whole body is alive to that quality. You're allowing that empowered state to wash through your entire body. And maybe if you don't mind, just show your thumbs up when that has happened. So I see when it's happened for everybody. Very good. Yeah, you can also just put it on your screen if you like. So once this quality has washed through your entire body, now I'd like to ask you to try an interesting experiment. If you are a man, imagine from this quality, from this state, that you are meeting a very challenging woman. It could be somebody that you have met either through work or maybe from your childhood, maybe a family member, maybe an ex. So just thinking of a very challenging woman, and you are meeting her from this state where you are actually in your full empowerment. And what happens? And for the women, you're imagining meeting a very challenging man from this state of your empowerment. Could be father, brother, maybe ex, or someone else, a man challenging. And what happens when you are in your empowered state? How does this scenario play out? And now we're going to try another little experiment. Imagine meeting a lover from this space. That could be a lover that you currently are seeing. Maybe it's a lover from the past, or maybe it's a lover that you will meet in the future. So just imagine you are meeting a lover from this empowered state. And what happens? How is that? And it's possible that you are having some realization through this practice. And slowly, slowly, I'm going to be inviting you to come back. So I'm counting 3. And you might like to stretch your body a little bit. And 2, maybe turning a little bit. 1, and opening your eyes, coming back, bringing this realization with you. Understanding that all it takes is a little tune.
So as I feel Sarita was completing, just little tune in so we can come back to ourselves while we wait for her to tune in back with us. So slowly just coming back. And just feeling maybe how you're feeling now after this meditation. Just 15-minute meditation, but feeling fresh and new.
So maybe somebody would like to share a little bit about your experience, or maybe someone has a question. We have just a few minutes for questions, so let's enjoy together.
Sarita,
Yes.
Can we show first the promo of the Master Lover and then take the questions? Then
as you like.
Yeah, would that be okay also? Maybe you want to tell people something about Master Lover course so that people who really want to continue their journey together with you after this session, that this is not just it, there is more. If people would like to go deeper into this experience, whether as a couple or single, so there is a possibility for people just to tune in even from their home.
Well, I can just say a little bit about the Master Lover course, how it was developed. I had been teaching already for many years, and through my experience of teaching, I realized that a lot of people are actually missing a very basic sex education. In fact, most people are missing that, especially a sex education according to Tantra. So then I started offering Master Lover for singles, Master Lover for couples. It's basically a weekend course. And I found out that the need is so great for the information and the experience that's offered in this course that it would be really nice to offer it worldwide. And therefore, I made an online course so that people could have access to this information and experience no matter where they are in the world. And this was shot in Bali with a very, very good videographer and a beautiful pair of actor and actress who are also into Tantra. So we made it the highest quality possible. And it does have a very rich resource for people around all of these subjects we've been discussing tonight, and much more than that also. It's a very rich course.
So maybe we can play just a little teaser of that course for people to just have a glimpse of it. And maybe you can share the file and the video. Thank you.
I remember the first time I did it, but I felt so guilty after.
The porn that I was watching,
it's like, oh my God, what I just did. But it was so amazing.
And I became like addicted to the need to release, the need to get this tension out of my body.
Just accepting myself and not being ashamed of feeling sexual energy.
I would like to share with you the elixir that is Tantra.
This experience made me love myself more.
Tantra is a lifestyle which includes the blending together of our sexuality, our love, and our spirituality.
Changing my understanding of what this is.
And this is an alchemical blend that we can apply to any aspect of our daily life.
I was just falling somewhere very deep inside me.
Everything in life can become a portal into an expansion of consciousness.
I'm experiencing now more energy aside from just in my sex center.
I came to my spiritual master in India at the age of 17, imbibing the essence of Tantra through love and devotion.
This was the first time that I can actually feel literal, orgasmic, rich pleasure in other parts of my body without stimulation.
Master Lover will show a man how to completely open his woman to her most sublime ecstasy. And if you are a woman and you want to know how to truly connect with your man in a way where you can experience him as your soulmate, Master Lover offers you the magic key.
Such a powerful video. I think there is one more which we would like to share as, just to give an insight wherein you are talking about the benefits of this course.
When you go into the Master Lover Gold online coaching process, you are entering a whole new world. A world where you're going to be opening up your potential as a sexual being and much more than that, because you will discover how a man functions differently than a woman, how a woman functions differently than a man. And we're going to be offering you this program, which is comprising video material, exercises that you will do at home, also diagrams that you can follow very easily and naturally, and very intimate exercises you can do with your lover, or also exercises you can do on your own. The reason behind this is so that you can slowly but surely enliven your entire sexual life, whether that is for self-pleasuring or whether that is in the couple, and at the same time learn so much about the anatomy of male and female, many secrets that are not usually known by the normal Mr. and Mrs. John or Jane, and tantric sexual secrets which need a certain milieu, a certain intimacy to deliver. And I will personally be appearing live to give part of this teaching as part of this process. A very precious part of this program, you could say the heart of it, is the Spiral to Heaven technique. This is a technique I've developed for lovers after years of working with couples, finding out all of the different aspects of how couples function, what couples need in their sexual life, and how to best fulfill the man with what he needs or the woman with what she needs. So you will be moving on a journey, the Spiral to Heaven journey. And this is just a revelation. And it is, as it suggests, a spiral that moves all the way to the ultimate ecstasy within you. I'm so delighted to have the opportunity to offer this sacred transmission to people all over the world, because normally I work in groups, so we might have 40 people, 50 people. And with this process, no matter where you are in the world, you will be able to have the gifts that are usually given in an intimate training. And this is just amazing. It really opens up a possibility of thousands and thousands of people finding deep transformation in their sexual life. And it's an honor and a joy to have this opportunity and to offer this material. For my beloved friends who already know me, who have already worked intimate with me, this is an opportunity to practice what you have learned at home with my guidance. You will hear my voice like I'm standing next to you and supporting you on your journey into intimate sexuality, using those tools that you've already touched on and deepening your experience. I've discovered that many women are not aware of their full orgasmic potential. Perhaps it is because of wrong education, or it might be because of some wounding that's been received. And through this program, we can very gently tap into your true femininity, drawing it out slowly but surely, discovering how full of power and energy you can be, how full of bliss and ecstasy you can be. And it's really my joy to share this with my sisters all over the world, no matter where you are, right in your own home, in your own bedroom. You can have access to tools which will take you into your deepest fulfillment.
Have we lost? Sarita has lost her connection probably.
I'm here.
Ah, okay, you're here. Oh, I couldn't see you. Such a wonderful and beautifully shot, yeah, these videos and this course. And yeah, especially with your online courses, it doesn't, it's not boring. It's like a journey you take together, and you don't feel like you're sitting in a classroom. I highly suggest you should make some Netflix series on Tantra. That would be really good for people to get some education more on Tantra and sacred sexuality, because there is such a big ignorance regarding the subject of sexuality for single and for couples. So yeah, highly recommended this beautiful course. And for next few days, we also have a special offer on this course on Master Lover. And this is the first time, in fact, in 2 years on Evolved Beings that there is a special offer on Master Lover course. So which is 297 euros. Plus, for the people who are joining us live, you get 10% discount code by using Master Lover 10, which is valid for next 48 hours. So if you want to dive in deeper together with Sarita and on Master Lover journey, you can, this is your opportunity, I would say. Otherwise, the normal price is 400 euros, but yeah. So anything you would like to add, Sarita, here?
Well, we should come back to our possibility for people to ask questions also.
Yes, there are many questions here.
Yeah, so let's go into that for the next few minutes that we have left. Yeah.
Sure. So I'm just scrolling up because there are so many. And okay, a lot of the information you explained is in terms of masculine and feminine, giving and receiving. How do you explain these concepts in individuals who identify as transgendered or non-binary? It feels like these group of people are automatically excluded. That's a very good question. Thanks.
So this question always comes, and in regards to Tantra, because Tantra works with polarities. If you look in life in general, there are always going to be peaks and valleys, trough and wave, or night and day, summer and winter, maybe birth and death.
And unmute Sarita, please. Yeah.
Okay, good. So we are living in a world of opposite polarities, And if somebody is transgender, homosexual, non-binary, etc., these polarities will still be functioning in one way or another. For example, if you look at a homosexual couple, in the couple, there will be one who is more masculine, one is more feminine, even if they are of the same gender. So these opposites play out no matter how you are identifying yourself sexually. The polarity system will still play out in one way or another. So even if somebody is a gay couple and they want to come to a tantra group, they can still play with the same methods. They would just decide, okay, I'm going to have the more feminine role. This one is going to have the more masculine role. And you enjoy together. Likewise, if you are just working with yourself within your own chakra system, as I was helping you to experience, you have positive polarity and receptive polarities, and you will play with that inside of your own chakra system. So this is just how life is. We live.
Maybe time to come back to our breath. Closing our eyes and just tuning in and getting aware about our breath. Is it shallow, deeper? Just coming back to ourselves. And it's actually a good practice, whatever during the day you're doing, just come back to your breath. Just keep reminding yourself.
Okay, go ahead with the next question, Shrishti.
Yes, thank you, Sarita. Somebody has also asked that, is this Master Lover course for couples and singles both, or only for
Yes, the Master Lover course is for singles and couples both. As I told you before, I developed one Master Lover course for singles, one for couples. So in the online version, we have both subjects being addressed.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. How do I get more in touch with the feminine in me? I'm a female, but I feel I'm still far from my feminine side.
The way is through your positive polarities of the chakra system. So tune more to your lower belly, to your heart, and to your third eye. If you are a woman and you want to be more in touch with your femininity, there's where you find the golden keys to unlock your femininity. And for the masculine, that will be sex center, solar plexus, and throat. Here you'll find the golden keys to unlock the secrets of your masculinity.
Yes, and also just to add that you do have online journeys only for women and goddesses. You have already addressed on second and fourth chakra through these online courses. Plus you have trainings in Bali, especially only women's group. So just in case people want to look out for more information on that. How to love ourselves more.
So loving ourselves more is also about
Okay, this time maybe we can just smile. Smile to ourselves. Things are not perfect always. Life is not perfect. Everything is okay. Everything is good. Even this hide and seek what we are playing today with Sarita, that's also okay. It's good to just see some smiling faces on the screen.
So the third step of love is learning to love the whole, all of life, the universe. And to
Sarita,
also,
we did miss you because your connection got lost. So
okay.
maybe, yeah.
So the first step of love is loving yourself. Second step is learning to love another in intimacy. And third step, learning to love the whole universe as it is also reflected in yourself, in your life. And these three steps can take years to master, but we begin by loving ourselves. The more we love ourselves, the easier it will be to love another also.
Truly second that. And here we go with the next question. What can partners do when they are in a committed relationship, but one is high on sexual energies and the other is not at all into it? It's a very common question.
So usually this happens if the lovemaking is not sufficient for that one that's not into it. Like the lovemaking is not according to how they need it, according to who they are, what gender they are, etc. And in my experience, very commonly, this happens to women who are not receiving enough erotic play before penetration. Because if she's not, that means she's not turned on enough, and then she will get bored and disgusted with the sex act. So I can use as an example, it was a master lover course actually. And there was one couple who came, they'd been together for 30 years. In all that 30 years, they had never had sex for more than 3 minutes. And they were absolutely disgusted one with the other. The woman hated sex. And hold on just for a moment. I have to get something. Sorry, I'll be right back. It keeps cutting out. It's a kind of for the story. Okay, so I go on with the story. So then they were doing the Master Lover course, and I said, don't worry, by the end of this weekend, you're going to be having sex for 2 hours. And they were both flabbergasted because they were actually disgusted by each other. But it happened like that by the end of the weekend, they were indeed having sex for 2 hours and falling in love all over again and amazed that this is possible. So basically, if the sex is not according to what a person needs, then they just won't feel like having it. And usually people are too embarrassed to talk to each other about it because also they don't have the answers. They don't know why this is happening. And they tend to blame themselves. Oh, there must be something wrong with me. That's why this is happening. And then they feel shame, guilt, and cut off and turn off from sex altogether. So when we go into Tantra, then slowly but surely we reclaim our capacity to, for one thing, love and accept ourselves, to learn actually what we want, to be able to communicate, like conscious communication with our partner, and so on and so forth. And we can reclaim a very healthy sexuality. And also the reason why it's healthy, I just want to remind you, is because we're linking sexuality with love and with spirituality. It's not only sex. If something is only sex, it will never be fulfilling. It needs to be connected all the way through our humanness, which includes our spirituality.
Yes, exactly. And especially I have heard we get a lot of queries from Indian women on this question and issue, where women most often are not interested in being married. So yeah, exactly. That's the case. Yeah. Moving to our next question, is using condoms create some kind of hindrance in terms of male and female connectivity?
So condoms, you can say on one aspect they're very positive and another aspect not. The positive aspect is that you can be prevented from having some STI. That's very good. And also in terms of that addiction that I was talking about, if you wear the condom, then the tendency is you will not get that addiction and that attachment that comes with fluid bonding. So this is very positive. Now, on the negative aspect, many men hate to wear condoms because they feel it's inhibiting them. And so, you know, they wouldn't like it. And some women also feel disgusted by it. So it's about weighing the good and the bad aspects. Also, of course, it can prevent pregnancy, which is very good if you just want to have a nurturing connection and bonding with somebody and you don't want to get pregnant. And one of the other good things is it's not going to harm the person, because many forms of birth control that exist in the world are harmful to
Are we breathing? Was it a beautiful session for you all? How are you feeling? Maybe just thumbs up or whatever you want to say in the comments. Meanwhile, isn't it beautiful just to meet, even sitting at our home, our loved ones, and feel
okay, I'm back.
yes.
With the hide and seek.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry for that. There's something happened with the internet today with the storm.
That's how life is, no? Nothing is perfect. So
Any other question coming?
means maybe we can just take this as a last question.
Okay.
Yeah, how to deal with masturbation habit or even addiction. I practice spiritually, and another side, I feel lots of urges for sex, which is difficult to deal sometime. I'm a single college-going student. Ultimately, it is affecting my education and career. I know, but still I'm not able to resist maximum time.
So this leads us again to the subject of Master Lover, the online course or the live course, whatever you can do. But we do have the practice in there where you learn how to have slow sex with yourself. Because the problem is when you're going very fast and it's just being used to release tension, like a sneeze or something, then it will not lead to deep fulfillment. And so you need to learn how to really enjoy making love to yourself. And I know for some men that will sound very, very strange, but actually, if you think about it, the way that you practice masturbation is going to be translated into how you have sex, because our sex is programmed. It's programmed by the way we practice.
It's good to see that people already start smiling now whenever we don't have connection. That's how we should take life, no? Some shit happens and we can smile at it and we can move on. Yeah. I see somebody dancing and moving and shaking boobies. That's good. Yeah, we all can just enjoy. Lisa, that's the, oh, she's doing some Punjabi Bhangra. That's nice. Yeah, we can have some fun while Sarita tune in back. Lovely. Yes, we can all do some Bollywood dancing or any dance.
Okay.
Great. We were dancing while you were away.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
A little
Back
dance
to,
break. It takes you out of your head. That's good.
yeah. While we talk about porn addiction, we can take some dancing
Yeah.
breaks. Yeah. Back to you.
So the thing, if you're talking about porn, that's a very big subject, but the porn industry feeds on the fact that we have, that men will have this program in the brain that seeks for having sex, like wanting to see body parts of women and wanting to have some kind of gratification that's not necessarily going to go deep, this opportunist sex. So the porn industry will feed on that like a leech sucking the blood. It says, okay, I'm going to go and catch that part of the brain and make the person addicted to this so that they're in an endless loop, which becomes destructive because then it leads to over amount of ejaculation, thereby draining the life force energy of the man. It was found in Australia that 50% of young boys were getting addicted to porn from the age of 10. They were studying between the age of 10 to the age of 20, 50% addicted to porn. And many of those by the age of 20 had become impotent. So it's a very destructive direction. And it reminds me of the experiment done by Delgado, where he had rats and he attached an electrode to the brain, to the orgasm center of the brain. And then he gave the rats a choice. They could push one button to get food, another button to have orgasm in the brain. So what happened was the rats ignored the button for food and pushed the orgasm button till they died. So the porn industry is using that. The porn is like that button that the rats were pressing till they died. And so it is very destructive. And I'm not saying that it's wrong for men to want to see women's body parts and to wish to be visually stimulated as the sexuality is getting aroused. This is natural. But how it's approached in porn is very wrong because it's also programming the man to have a very low quality sexual interaction. And in Tantra, you will learn a very high quality of sexual interaction. So this is really a very strong subject and one which needs a lot of care and attention. And there are websites that help men come off of porn addiction, which I would recommend, and to find a more positive way forward with this natural tendency that wishes to see women's body parts.
Yes, thank you. And just to add, we specially created Sex Education Summit a year before, in which we addressed on all sorts of things from porn addiction, from masturbation and tantric sacred sexuality and tantric sex. So, and it's completely free. We created this series and we invited the teachers, sex therapists, sexologists, tantric experts to address on all these kind of questions and concerns. So if anybody wants to watch or even recommend, it's completely free. Just tune in. It's available on our website, www.evolvebeings.com. So you can find more information or discussions or questions around it, solutions. Thank you so much, Sarita. There are more questions, but we are taking time.
So
But
I have a satsang coming on Wednesday, so it will be live broadcast. And if somebody still has some question, you can submit your questions, and then I will do my best to answer whatever I can during the satsang.
yes, maybe
This
we
will
can
be
send
held.
you the remaining questions which are unanswered. Just last
Yes.
question, which I see, which is valid with today's session, is somebody asked that how can they practice today's practice what you guided as a couple? So maybe quickly you can,
Yes.
yeah.
So when you practice it as a couple, for example, if the woman is giving to the man, you put one hand on the top of his lingam, one hand at the perineum, and just hold. And you ask him to breathe into your hand at the perineum, then into the hand that's on the lingam, and then into the space in between the two hands, and then to visualize, to sense the quality or scene of nature in that area. Then you gently lift your hands, and then you would move to solar plexus, back and front, and ask him to breathe in the hand in the back, hand in the front, space in between, sense a quality or scene in nature there. And then gently release your hands, move to the throat, and do the same thing. So it's just the same like we did on your own, but the hand of the partner is holding that space, and the partner is gently guiding. And then once the man has gone through his journey, then you will exchange, then woman will receive. And of course, for the woman, that will be the lower belly.
Oh, oh. Maybe meanwhile, when Sarita is tuning back, I can just share a few things for women especially, because I saw that there were questions concerning connected to more feminine side. So we have special Wonder Women group only on Facebook, wherein we discuss a lot of things concerning women, relationships, sexuality, menstruation, everything related to women. So please feel free to tune in into that group, and you can always throw in questions, and we really have a big community from all over the world, tantra experts, sex experts, participants, everyone. So yeah, so that could be resourceful. And we do every year Wonder Women Festival online as well, apart from offline, which we just did in Goa. So yes, there are lots of resources. So if there is a will, there is a way. If you have a question, universe would bring you the answer in some way or the other. Have the search. That's what I feel and believe. And how can we watch her when? Let me ask her. So yeah, and also,
What is it, Shrishti?
yes, please. So Sarita, somebody asked that how can they tune in with your Wednesday's satsang?
Sadhana, can you please come? I just have my social media manager here, so I'm going to ask her the question. Somebody's asking, how do they tune into the satsang on Wednesday?
It's on the Facebook. Hello,
Hey, Sadhana.
welcome. Hi everyone, I'm Sadhana. You can on Facebook, you can find Facebook page Ma Ananda Sarita, and we will be going live from there. And it's 5:30 Bali time, which will be Indian time, about
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Yes, tomorrow.
Yes.
Not tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, on the
Wednesday.
16th, on the Wednesday. Sorry, tomorrow we have something else.
Tomorrow
we have
have-
Valentine's special tomorrow here.
Special dating event in Bali.
Yeah,
All right.
amazing.
Thank you
Your battery is low.
so much, Sadhana.
All right,
Yeah.
nice seeing you all. Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sarita,
Yeah,
for this
that was a
wonderful.
pleasure.
Yes, it's
I,
always a pleasure.
I really apologize about the internet problem, but nothing I can do about it. So at least we could manage to have our program, and it was a joy to spend time with all of you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Sarita, for offering this beautiful session and all your wisdom. And thanks for all the lovely people out there for connecting all over the world with us. Just a little announcement for people who are in India. We have a retreat coming up in Goa, 3-day retreat from 18th of February to 20th of February in Goa, led by me and another co-teacher. So if you want to join, we have 5 spots or 4 spots left. So you can still tune in. And I've also done my teacher's training with Sarita and been connected to other teachers and masters. So stay tuned in, and love you all, and big hugs, big love. It's lovely to feel this energetic field. Thank you. Much love.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
So cute.